And a very good evening. Welcome out to Little Woodrow's. Time now for our weekly Lamar University Football Coaches Show with Coach Blane Morgan. Cardinals last time out on the road lost 10th ranked, nationally ranked UIW in San Antonio. Had the week off this week, and Coach, just going back to the UIW game just a little bit. They got off to a very good start, and that was a hard hill to come back and battle.
Yeah, I mean, they're you got to say what it is. We were outmatched in that game, from the get-go, and then you have the unfortunate turnover, which the head of officials says it's not. You certainly can't, you can't have that happen, and you get put in a really bad spot, and so. But we came back, our kids came back in the second half again, and I thought Mike settled down, and I thought we did some good things and got to work on some things. So, and we moved forward, and we gave our guys a bunch of time off last week and our bye week, and I think we hit the refresh button. Our guys came back and have had a really good week of practice so far, and the intensity of practice has been probably the highest of the year, and our guys are itching to get in on the win column.
That second half, the defense shuts down UIW. Of course, the offense got the one touchdown there. When you're down, I mean, especially at the end of the first quarter, when you fall so far behind, as a coaching staff, keeping the kids' heads straight, and you just keep fighting.
Yeah,
is that a difficult task?
Yeah, I mean, definitely it is. I mean, now it's something that, like last year, it seemed like we were in that situation quite a few times, and it's like, kids get tired of hearing whatever, but you really just have to, when you're down that bad, you just really have to focus on just trying to get a little bit better, and executing what we can do, and our guys just need. We continue to say this, but we just need reps and reps and reps, and that experience, that's the only thing, the only way you start to improve, individually and as a team. And you've got a lot of reps to make up, when you're playing a team like that, and they had three guys. They had a player on their team in their 7th year of college. Which I didn't know that could happen. But
makes me think of Animal Health and Bukowski, whatever the character John Belushi played. 7 years of college.
Yeah.
I mean, in some cases, you got 24, 25-year-old men going against 18-year-old kids.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is, and it was like, just physically, it was just a hard matchup for us, honestly. I mean, they executed really well, and they played well, and I think our guys got to week 6 and hit a wall, and so we'll hit reset. We hit reset last week, and guys came back and came back to practice, and we're ready to roll, ready to play on Saturday.
Well, with that week off, did you give them an entire week off during practice, but still hit weights? How'd that not this week we're talking of, but a week ago? How'd that go?
So we give them a total of 4 days off. We gave them Sunday, Monday off. Practiced Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday we got that rainstorm, so it kind of got rained out on Thursday, which wasn't all bad. And then we came back, gave them Friday, Saturday, and then came back on Sunday and then you're a day ahead going into the next week because we've already watched the film, we've already game planned.
Yeah, because you played on it.
Yeah. So you've got during that bye week, and they've got the same thing going. They have a bye week as well. So we'll see which team going forward has handled the bye week the best.
It's kind of crazy. I see where Prairie View coming in with 10 players suspended, and I don't know what their starters, backups, third strings, whatever it may be, but they had a little interesting pregame with Southern, and that's a big rivalry for them.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what happened, but well,
it's not for you to be concerned about.
Yeah,
either,
you don't know what's going on. We're gonna try to show up and play our best game.
How exciting is it to get back home and play a game? This is only your 3rd game. And it's the first of 3 in a row. So
yeah,
that's going to be. I mean, the schedule's kind of quirky that way.
We just haven't played well. In the first 2 games, we've left a little bit of a bad taste in our mouth. Now, in each of those games in the fourth quarter, we've rallied.
Right.
I mean, and what you do in the bye week is you look at all. You kind of evaluate yourself. And you take a look at, okay, what are we good at? What quarters have you played well in? and you compare and contrast so you can put your best foot forward, the last 5 weeks of the season. And we've outscored opponents in the fourth quarter 51-14. Yeah. Which is crazy. It's
we need 4 quarters of football.
Yeah, if we could do that, if we could put a couple more of those quarters together, like we do in the fourth, and it's almost like guys just relax and play ball. And when we do that, that's when we're playing our best.
Such a young team. What is the? I guess I don't want to say mental. I guess confidence level of your team right now.
Yeah, I would say battling back and again. Super competitive this week, and when you gain confidence by doing great reps in practice and making plays in practice, and then doing it early in the game, and then that gives you confidence, going throughout the game, I think.
Again, we are talking Lamar University football with Coach Blane Morgan. We are at Little Woodrose. We are here each and every Wednesday night during the duration of the football season, except for last week with the Cardinals having a bye week. And so we didn't have a show. Now, as a coach, you had a week off. Did you watch football, or did you just get ready for Prairie View?
Yeah, what you do is again, you kind of take a step back. You look at yourself. Okay, what have we done well? You look at every angle of everything. So you're looking at your own games and how you've played, and you're also looking forward, and you're starting to glimpse at your opponent. But you're trying to get a really good feel for what we do well. And I challenged our coaches, hey, what do we do well? And let's do a lot of that going forward and put our players in the best situation. And then like on Saturday, I was like, I'm going to take the day. It was a great Saturday to have a bye week because there were so many good games on. But I took the first half of the week and worked on my kid's treehouse. And
how's that coming along?
It looks like maybe an elementary school kid built it, but I'm very proud of the work.
Now, is it an elevated treehouse?
Yeah, I built it during COVID. We had a lot of downtime during that time, so I built like a platform treehouse and added some railing to it this Saturday, and then caught the back half of Alabama, Tennessee, and some of those other games on Saturday. A great Saturday for college football.
Well, I got to ask this question: is it big enough for you to hide in case you get in trouble and have to sneak out of the house?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
If Andy tells you're sleeping in the treehouse tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I would trust putting my weight up there.
That's awesome. Again, we'll get our first break in talking Lamar University football with Coach Blane Morgan. We are at Little Woodrose at the Colonnade Shopping Center on Phelan Boulevard. Stop by and see us. We're here till 8 on News Talk 560 KLVI. 7:17 on a Wednesday night. Hey everybody, Harold Mann with you back at Little Woodrose talking Lamar football, the Coach Blane Morgan Show here in the Colonnade Shopping Center, 7 o'clock each Wednesday night. As the Cardinals coming off that tough loss to nationally ranked UIW, getting ready for Prairie View on Saturday, joined by Coach Wayne Cordova. And Coach, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
I know we've visited with you before, but let's talk about your background a little bit before you got here to Lamar University.
Well, I was a high school football coach in New Orleans, Louisiana. I was a head coach first at St. Augustine High School, and went throughout the Catholic League at a couple different institutions, and always wanted to coach college ball. Had an opportunity with a friend of mine to work at Grambling University. Left Grambling and went to where did I go? Tulane. Went to Tulane after Grambling.
Well, that's going right back home.
Yes, exactly. Went to Tulane. After Tulane, was at Newman, home of Arch Manning.
I was going to say, I think a couple of good football players have come out of there. Yeah,
just a couple. And after Newman, I had a short visit with Newman. Was at McNeese State, then Southern University, and then over here at Lamar University.
Let's talk about high school football in the city of New Orleans. Of course, Texas, we flex our muscles here because obviously Texas is a huge high school football state, but New Orleans have had some good players. You have all three Mannings,
yes,
and now the fourth one coming up. Marshall Falk. I mean, you've had some really good football players come out of the city of New Orleans.
Really good football players, and I'm always toot my school's horn, which is St. Augustine High School. We had some good players, and while I was there, at St. Augustine, I had a couple good ones, Tyron Matthew and Leonard Fournette.
I was getting ready to talk about the Honey Badger, yeah.
Yes, sir. And actually, Honey Badger's back home, back home and have an opportunity to play with the Saints for the first time.
Growing up, obviously playing football, at what point did you decide you wanted to be a coach?
Kind of early. Thought I wanted to be a coach because the coaches that kind of helped me get me into high school and then also into college. And I felt that coming from the background that I had, that it was something that I needed to do. And luckily I had some guys that allowed me an opportunity, and I took full-fledged of that opportunity.
Visiting with Will Cordova here on the Coach Blane Morgan Show, and handle the defense, secondary primarily. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Young back there.
Yes.
As a coach, and you're coaching kids that are 18, 19 years old, do you like developing them at such a young age?
I really do. Because the things that they know and the things that they do well and the things they need to improve on, you get a chance to work with those guys and kind of create some good habits, and they don't have that many bad habits. So I love working with those guys. I think my specialty is trying to develop young men.
The future of this team, when you're talking to the fan base out there, I guess the key word is patience, because they are young. The wins are not coming right now, but you crawl before you walk before you run. And we want to tell the fans the same thing we tell the kids. Trust the process.
Trust the process. And, in today's society, what I call the microwave society, everybody wants something right now. And in this thing, you can't skip the maturation process. You have to go through it. And young guys make young mistakes. But obviously, they're going to get older. And those mistakes, they're going to learn from. And as they learn from those mistakes, you'll find that, they'll get better and better. And as a result, we'll win more games.
And one kid that no longer with us, but you had a chance to coach, Anthony Ruffin. Boy, he was special. He was a special player on this team.
He was. Louisiana kid, and great young man. High academic kid, and also was a really good football player.
Talk about some of the kids that are stepping it up for you here this year. Of course, DeMarco Robinson, his second year out of a state championship team up in Oledo, was the Class 4A Player of the Year in the state of Texas.
Yes, right.
And now this year with Major Bowden, you got the 3A Player of the Year in the state of Texas. Just talk about watching a player, an athlete like DeMarco develop.
Well, it's always awesome because DeMarco is a competitor. And DeMarco, he can help you, he can help you on offense, obviously defense and special teams, DeMarco's a heck of a football player, but he's also a heck of a competitor. But I also like to bring up another young man who's from this area, is Christian Pugh.
Oh,
he's
a Westbrook kid. Yeah.
Yes, sir. He's from Westbrook, and he and Andre Dennis are from this area, and they're doing really well, and they're doing their thing out there.
How exciting is that? I mean, of course, you want to go get the best fit when you're recruiting a young man. You want to get the best fit, but it's got to be really exciting when he's from right here in the Golden Triangle.
Exactly. And that's something that Coach Morgan as well as Coach Gibson has done a phenomenal job of, is making sure that we are tapping into the Golden Triangle, because even when I was in college playing in Lake Charles, that's one of the things that you knew they had some really good football players or athletes, period, coming out of this area.
I asked Coach Morgan the same question. With such a young team, keeping the confidence level where it needs to be, is that difficult with such a young – sometimes kids at 17, 18 years old, there's basically no fear in that factor or whatever it may be, but keeping that confidence level on a day-to-day basis of the coaching staff.
It's not, and that's one of the things that helps us out. Those guys are extremely resilient. They come to practice every day, and they're ready to prep, get better daily, and that helps us as coaches. You don't have to worry about trying to get those guys up to come to practice every day.
Preparing for a team like Prairie View, they come in 3-3. You look at some of the receiving numbers; they've got some good numbers.
Yes, sir.
When you look at their receiving core, what are some of the concerns?
Obviously, they're very athletic. They have some length. They play hard. They have good speed, and they're well coached.
looking ahead for this Lamar football team, you mentioned a couple of kids. When it comes to the day-to-day basis, building up speed, weight room, do you like defensive backs getting into that weight room?
Love it. One of the things that it does help is their longevity and allows for those guys to be able to play through injuries, But then, we want those guys to get bigger, stronger, and faster, and that's all because of the weight room.
Not only for the kids, and I talked to Coach Morgan about this, about the bye week, the off week, open week, coming at a good time for the kids. Did it come as a good time for the coaching staff as well?
It did. It allows you to self-scout yourself, to be able to look at some of the things that you're doing well, some of the things that you have to kind of improve on, some things you may have to tweak. But it also allows for you to just step back for a second and just evaluate yourself and where you need to go.
Now, do you like watching college football when a lot of times it's like a mailman going for a walk on his day off? Mm-hmm. Do you like watching college football on your off week?
I do. I love watching college football. This is obviously what I do for a living, and I love it. And but I also love watching movies. And
we just lost it. Okay. Well, we do apologize for that little cell phone drop out there. Harold Mann back with a little Red Rose. Wrapping up our conversation with Cardinals coach Will Cordova. And, Coach, I want to thank you so much for taking time to be with us this evening. And if you had a message for our Cardinal fans about the direction of the football program right now, what would it be?
The direction, we are trending upwards. And it obviously may take a little longer than, we anticipated. But at the end of the day, we're doing it the right way, and you'll see the results shortly. All
right, Coach. Thank you so much for spending time to be with us on this week's program, and good luck against Prairie View on Saturday. And 3 in a row at home, you can make a lot happen over the next 3 weeks.
Yes, we're looking forward to it. Thank you, guys, and look forward to seeing you guys on this Saturday.
All right, come on out to Provost Humphrey Stadium. Going to get a break in and back with more on the Coach Blane Morgan Show on News Talk 560 KLVI. Harold Mann back with you at Little Woodrose talking Lamar University football. Coach Blane Morgan Show. I want to thank Coach Wayne Cordova for joining us. Also, we like to cross over sports here on the Coach Morgan Show. Welcoming in Brandon Crisp, head volleyball coach at Lamar University. Coach, welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's our first chance to visit with you here on the radio. Tell us a little bit about your background and your path to Lamar University.
Sure. My background, I've been coaching for over 25 years, 30 years. Before here, I was at a head coach at Dallas College Eastfield, which is a junior college up in Dallas. Very successful there. I inherited a program there that the last time they had won the conference was 1994. Mm-hmm. And we wound up winning the conference 5 of the last 6 years that we were there. And actually won the national championship in 2017.
That'd be pretty exciting.
That was a fun time. Never forget that moment.
At what point did you fall in love with the sport of volleyball? I mean, growing up, did you play quite a bit?
Yes, I was actually lucky growing up in California. I played volleyball in high school. My brother played, was older than me, and he's actually the one that got me into it. I just fell in love playing, I think when I was in junior high. Never looked back. I played club. Was fortunate enough my senior year I went to junior nationals. And I've been playing and coaching ever since then.
You hear about club volleyball, and some folks might scratch their head on that, but that's top quality volleyball. I mean, you've got a lot of good athletes and a lot of good volleyball players that you can grab out of there.
I agree. You have the best of the best that are playing there.
The job opened here at Lamar University. Mm-hmm. What attracted you to Lamar when you came down? Of course, all coaches want to get the Division I head coaching job. That goes without saying. But when you saw this program, what did you see the vision of Lamar volleyball?
I have my vision for what I know the program can be. But when I came and visited on campus, I was impressed, number one, by all the people I met. Everyone was so supportive, so helpful. They wanted to be here, wanted to help get it better. And then the facilities. I think the facilities are top notch. When I first saw the volleyball facilities, that itself, the fact that we have our own gym that we don't share, I love that. I'm used to having to always battle with the basketball programs every day.
Battle for practice time.
Practice times. If you want extra time for the players. So that, to me, was amazing. We have our own facility. It's a great court. I love that it's actually volleyball is the main lines. And there's a basketball court, but it's a secondary. It's hard to see, which usually it's the opposite, where it's always the basketball lines and you struggle to see the volleyball lines. But, the facility was fantastic. The locker room's right there. I love it. It opens up to our court. The strength room, weight room, I was impressed when I saw, 16 squat racks over there, and they have 7 coaches.
Right.
Just everything they had to offer, I thought was fantastic.
Let's talk about that real quick again. Visiting with Brandon Chris, Lamar University volleyball coach. When you think about basketball, maybe baseball, definitely football, you think weight room. Mm-hmm. Now, how important is the weight room for a volleyball team?
It's hugely important. We need to get stronger. We're jumping all the time. They take hundreds of jumps every day. Shoulders are swinging for the ball all the time, and it's a little unusual because when we're hitting, we don't get to push off the ground or anything else. We're trying to generate all the power in the air ourselves. Mm-hmm. So it's not like a pitcher that gets to push off of, there's a mound there, or someone that's throwing a football gets to push off the ground. We're airborne when we're doing it. So it's very important that we have to make sure we're strong enough to get through the season. Because you're not going to gain weight during the season, but you're just trying to maintain and lose as little as possible.
It's really cool. It's when you're inside McDonald Gym. It's in the center of campus. The student support, they come out, and then they pack that place, and that's going to be real exciting, not only for the kids on the team, but for you as a coach as well.
I think we've had great support from when we had our first tournament there back in the end of August to even now. We've had tremendous support that they're out there. We've had the other sports that have been out there supporting us. They've been fantastic. With the gym, I kind of love the nice little confines because it's not too big, but when you get a good crowd in there, it seems really, really loud and it goes kind of crazy.
Let's
and that helps a lot.
Talk about your team a little bit.
Sure.
Some of the kids every one of them who puts on a uniform is important to you, but who are some of the kids stepping it up this year?
Everyone has, because you keep in mind, I didn't recruit the players. I didn't know who they were until I got there.
You inherited the team.
Inherited them, but and the first time I got to see them play was our first practice because I can't watch summer workouts.
Right.
So the first time I got to see them was then, and they've all impressed me. They've all worked hard. We've had some injuries here and there, but they're all working hard every day.
And the wins are coming, and that's what's really cool about it. The wins are coming, and the games you are dropping are competitive, and that's all you can ask is go out there and compete on a daily basis in practice and game time.
Well, we're working hard, and even everyone we played, we haven't been blown up by anybody, and we know that we can play with anyone. We're scoring points. Even last weekend, we had 17 kills in one set against McNeese. We just need to be cleaner, but we're proving that we can get the offense and we can score against any team out there. We haven't been blown out. We know we can play these teams, and we're excited to play them the second round now.
Yeah,
so we're excited about that part.
And how's the conference tournament process work? Is the top whatever or everybody go? How's that work in the in volleyball?
I guess it changes. What we were told this year was they announced it on the first day of our season that they said that all 10 teams will go.
Right.
So I hope that's still what they said it was, which means we'd all get to go to Hammond, and we're playing a 10-team format. The winner gets to go to the NCAA tournament.
And bottom line, get in that tournament, just like we've seen in college baseball, college basketball, get into a conference postseason tournament. Anything can happen.
Correct. I agree. And I told the ladies, we don't just want to get there and be a spoiler. We want to get there
and win
and take care of business and get out. Our goal is to be the best we can every day. We're trying to change the mindsets, that we can be there. We can play postseason. We can be the best team out there. We just need to work hard every day, day in, day out.
Talk about recruiting, and there's a good core of high school volleyball right here in Southeast Texas. Do you have that philosophy, look to see what's local and work your way out? Or there's a lot of times you're looking for a certain position, and you got to get the best player to fit your program?
I think we do a little bit of both. I think there are tremendous players here in Southeast Texas. I think there's also fantastic players in Texas alone.
Right.
I know for me the last 8 years when I was at Eastfield, I recruited almost exclusively Texas. There's some fantastic players in this state. But I think we look in our backyard, and then we also look in Houston and everywhere else, and we're trying to get the best players we can to be the best fit.
Here's 2 words that college coaches live and die on: transfer portal. How do you look into that as well?
I think you look into everything you can. I mean, I think if you don't look into something, then that's doing a disservice to you and your team. I think you look everywhere out there. It's still newer to me, but I think you look and see what you can find.
Looking ahead down the road when it comes to scheduling, what do you like looking at putting a non-conference schedule against the Cardinals? Obviously make it competitive and play some of the best, because that will prepare you for conference.
I agree. That's always been my philosophy. I know at previous school we wanted to play tougher teams so that when we get to conference a little easier for us. I like to do the same thing, but we do want to give us some confidence getting into it also. So it's kind of, I think, a mix of both of those.
Now, you went JUCO, is that right, before you got to Lamar?
Yes, I was junior college there, then I was Division I before that.
Okay, the biggest difference between coaching JUCO and Division I besides the talent level? What's the biggest adjustment there?
I think the biggest adjustment probably is just on the side of the support. There's so much more support at the university. I can tell you before, I was our strength coach. We were the ones also our academic advisors. We did everything ourselves. Here, we have a fantastic strength coach that we get to use, Coach Darcy.
Yeah.
In there, we have our training room staff that's behind us. We have our academic staff that's helping us out. Those are things we didn't have before. Even for games, I can recall having to set up everything, having to set the net and do everything, and finding people that work the games too. And now we have our crew. We have Seth that helps us out. Will, they're all there. They're the ones that get them, and I just show up.
Don't compliment those guys. They'll go to their head,
So I love that. That makes the job a lot easier for us.
Getting out in the community, how important is it to see your girls' faces in the community, and maybe going into middle schools, elementary schools, charitable events? How important is that to see your kids get out in the community?
For me, I think it's very important. I want to do that. I know it's been a little tough right now because it feels like we're just in a sprint in the middle of our season. But it's something that we want to do. I want to give back. I love giving back to the community and getting us out there so we're part of the community too, so that way they come to our games, they support us, and we know that we're all one because it's one community out there ultimately.
What's the upcoming schedule look like over the next couple of weeks? What you got coming up?
We have, including this week, it's 4 weeks left for conference. So we're home this week. We're home tomorrow against Commerce at 6 o'clock. Come on out, watch us play.
Thursday night game. Yeah.
Thursday night should be fun. And then on Saturday we travel for a day trip up to Northwestern State. And then next week we're on the road Thursday and Saturday. We're playing Incarnate Word and then Houston Baptist. So it'll be our long road trip to the end of the season. And then after that, it's going to be a tough week as we have 3 matches in 1 week for conference.
Wow.
We'll play a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And then we have 1 week after that, and then it's conference tournament time.
Talk about your seniors. Any seniors on this year's team? How many do you have?
Yeah, we have a bunch. We had some that they said were battling health issues.
Right.
But we have Sam's out there, Sam Swayze. She was a Libero this year. We have Caitlin Gill, one of our outside hitters.
Oh, she's local, isn't she?
She's local. She's from Port Neches.
Yeah, okay.
So she's local out there. We also have Gia, who's going to graduate early this year. So she'll be a senior. We have Amber Johnson, our right side. She's one of our seniors out there. I think I think that's all we have.
And real quick here, for those seniors, although you've only had them for 1 year, what kind of impact have they had on you as a coach?
They've helped me all tremendously. Learning, adjusting. They're helping me learn and adjust to Lamar, just how we do things here. Or using them just to their experience of what they can help bring to us.
Coach, thank you so much for stopping by. I know you're very, very busy this time of year, and thanks for stopping by the Coach Morgan Show.
My pleasure.
All right, Coach Brandon Crisp with the Lamar softball. We're back with Coach Morgan on News Talk 560 KLVI. Harold Mann back with you at a Little Woodrose. I want to thank Coach Brandon Crisp, the head volleyball coach at Lamar University. I guess I said softball. I was just seeing if people out there paying attention. Of course, Coach Morgan, we have coaches from other sports come on every week, and we really appreciate that because you know how important the athletic department is as a whole.
Yeah, and we'll get our guys out tomorrow night. Volleyball team plays A&M Commerce, so. And then a week from Friday, our soccer team talked with the soccer coaches today, and it sounds like they're going to be playing for possible championship. So get our guys out a week from Friday, and go cheer on the soccer team and the volleyball team. It's such a small community it's important to support each other.
Prior to Coach Crisp, we had Coach Cordova. Just talk about him a little bit. What impact he has on your coaching staff.
I've seen so much growth with him just as a coach, just really having an awareness of, just getting better and improving. And he works so hard. He's a tireless worker. He's recruited some really good players on our team, some good young players from the New Orleans area. And we've got a couple safeties that are going to be – they're playing pretty well, but they're going to be really good football players going forward. And so it's been fun to just watch him just grow as a coach. And that's why you coach. You coach to watch your coaches and try to mentor them and bring them along and build great relationships. And the same thing with players, just watching those guys grow up.
And with his background, New Orleans, Louisiana – he's a good guy to send over there when it comes to recruiting.
Yeah, that was I knew when we came to Lamar a few years ago, we wanted to go across the border for a number of different reasons, but that was certainly when I was looking at staff, we had some crossovers in who we knew and who he had worked for and that sort of thing, and so he's done a great job recruiting that area and bringing some players from over there. We've got a good little group of Louisiana football players with us.
All right, we are talking Lamar University football. Coach Blane Morgan, we got to get our final break in, and we'll be back to get ready for Saturday's home game against Prairie View when we return to Little Woodrose on News Talk 560 KLVI. Harold Mann along with Coach Blane Morgan talking Lamar University football. It's the Cardinals and Prairie View coming up on Saturday, Provost Humphrey Stadium, a 4 o'clock kickoff, and I know you're excited about that. I know you like those afternoon kickoffs, and I think it's weather-wise should be great, and just a good chance for the Cardinal fans to come out and support the red and white.
Yeah, I think the change of weather is just so refreshing. It's in the morning. It's been like I think this morning it was 40 in the 40s, and so our guys were all bundled up, and you would have thought it was below freezing, but it's good for the coaches. It's just with the week off and the change of weather, it just feels kind of like a refreshing, like a new start. So we're excited to get back out there in Provost Humphrey.
Talk about the weather a little bit. Now you of course played college football in the state of Colorado. You like that colder? You like that snow and colder weather? Or, being a Texas kid, but being a North Texas kid, you do experience cold weather.
Yeah, 17 years in Colorado. You get a little bit tired of snow. And I remember one spring, my wife texted me on May 1st, and I was down in Dallas or somewhere recruiting, and she said it's snowing. It's May 1st, and then I brought up the proposition to move into San Diego, and she was pretty excited
Thumbs
about
up
that.
on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, with Prairie View coming in on Saturday, a 4 o'clock kickoff. Get a hold of the Lamar ticket office. Get your tickets for that game, as the Cardinals and Prairie View only the third meeting between these two teams.
One thing you got to say, the last couple of home games, at least for the fans, we've made it. Guys have been, in the fourth quarter on the edge of their seats now for a coach. You look at my gray hair, and you add a lot of gray hair on those moments. But it's there'll be some excitement on Saturday. There'll be a lot of exciting plays, and just excited to see, with a week off and some rest, just a new refreshed team and a new energy, and just see if we can take that next step as a team.
I'm hoping for the biggest crowd of the year. I know Prairie View will have some fans.
Yeah.
They have a good alumni base here in Southeast Texas.
I think their band's coming, and their band is very,
national renowned. So,
yeah.
We'll be able to see that. For those who may not have been listening in the front end, what are some of the concerns you see with this Prairie View team? They are 3-3 on the year. They have put up some good numbers. A couple of common opponents: Abilene Christian and UIW.
If you look at them and just an overall view of them, they're 3-1 in the SWAC. They're the defending SWAC champs, so they won their league last year. Now their head coach left, And you look at their team; they're built around their defense, and their defense, I think, is 16th in takeaways. So they take the ball away, and up front they go 3 deep, with their defensive line. And so you look at teams and how they've had success, and teams have had a hard time running the ball on them. And so really good up front, play really good defense, play very hard, and then do a good job on offense, just getting the ball. They're a spread offense. They're going to get the ball to their, spread it out, and the quarterback runs around and distributes the ball pretty well. So I think they're a pretty balanced team.
You talk about their coach Bubba McDowell. Some longtime Oiler fans might remember him.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at his bio. I was like, man, that's. He was a heck of a football player, and back in those days, that's when they were really good in all the. I'm gonna date myself a little bit, but back, the Warren Moon days, and they had some really good. They had some really good football teams.
I go back to Love You Blue, so before that.
Yeah.
All right, we have just under about a minute and a half to go here, and just pretty good health coming in.
Well, we were banged up, going into week 6. We lost two guys for the season last week, which was unfortunate, and that just means a couple other guys have to step up. Yeah. But for the rest of our team, a couple guys that did get banged up with the bye week, we got Kendon Fusler back from Nederland, and he had a great practice today. And the rest of our team coming in, we're pretty healthy in areas where we need to be healthy.
Well, Coach, as always, I want to thank you so much for our weekly show. We'll see you Saturday at Provost Humphrey Stadium. That's a 4 o'clock kickoff. If you can't make it out there, 3:30 airtime here on KLVI, but take along the radio and listen in the stands, the first of 3 in a row at home.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a great 3-game homestand starting on Saturday. Let's get it going.
All right, again, it's the Cardinals and Prairie View. Then the 29th, Nichols comes to town, November 5th, Southeastern Louisiana. Let's get that stretch of 3 games going Saturday afternoon, 4 o'clock at Provost Humphrey Stadium. Thanks to Chelsea back in the studios. That's going to about do it. From Little Woodrose, for Coach Blane Morgan, I'm Harold Mann. Good night, everyone. Go Cards.